10 years on from the London riots, we look back at those 5 days of unrest in the capital.
It's now 10 years since Mark Duggan was shot and killed by police in Tottenham. Today marks the day of the riots, the largest civil unrest the country has seen in a generation. Well, some of the troubles were in Croydon, where a number of buildings went up in flames. A decade on, two business owners shared their memories of that night and explained how things have changed.
I was standing opposite the building when the rioters were here. I'd actually driven down from my home.
That's off 5 generations, 1867, burnt to pieces.
It was just a bizarre scene. It looked like a war scene.
My name is Trevor Reeves. I'm a director of E. Reeves Limited based in Croydon. My overriding memory is seeing the first puff of smoke out of the building that we own and we trade from, that the rioters set alight. You look at it and you think, what on earth are we going to do now? It was pretty terrifying.
My name is Bushra Ahmed. I'm the owner of a laundrette and dry cleaners that was burnt down in the riots in 2011 in Croydon. I was standing at my window looking out of the 8th floor flat, and we could see explosions every now and again, massive things going up. Around 11, 12 o'clock at night, we realised that our shop had caught fire. It was a family business, we'd owned it for 30 years. That was the most terrifying thing, I think, that feeling of helplessness, not being able to do anything, seeing people in the windows of the flats that were actually that whole parade that had been set on fire. There were still people in there.
By the time the morning came, the resilience came back, and we all got together as a family and decided that we would carry on. We changed the way that we ran the business. We turned a warehouse into the retail and tried to move forward with the rest of Croydon.
We wanted to rebuild the business, but because we weren't getting any of the compensation, none of us could rebuild anything. How are we supposed to rebuild if we don't have any money? Never imagining that something like this could happen here. The area has now changed. That's a really proud legacy for me, having grown up here, lived here all my life, run a business here, and wanting this area to be known as something other than the place where the riots happened.
We're still fighting, and we've just come through a pandemic, so it's another thing to hit the family and the company and the business. We've struggled through with everybody else, so we're very proud that we're actually managing to hold our own.